Hello and welcome to session 8 unit 1 in a strategic management course of MBA program. I am Pankaj Chauhan. I am associated with Ajay Kumar Garg Institute of Management Ghaziabad. In today's session I will be covering the mission part of the strategic intent and the concept of business definition along with the discussion on goals and objectives. So far learning outcomes are concerned. After this session, you will be able to understand the concept of mission in terms of what constitute a mission. Whenever you try to create a mission statement, what are the things that must be mentioned in the mission statement, you will got to know in this session. Secondly, you will be able to describe business definition, and again we will discuss what are the dimensions that must be included while defining the business definition. So there are 3 suggested dimensions for defining a business that we will cover in this session. Every business has to have some sort of goals and objectives. So we'll discuss the concept of goals and objective in respect to the topic, which is by and large broad topic is strategic intent. So we will be discussing this and you will got to know what are the differences between goals and objectives, and we'll try to make you more clear through the example, so you will have better understanding what are the goals and what are the objectives. So in the previous session we discussed strategic intent and the hierarchy of strategic intent. Then we see that vision is very important, and it is the strategic intent that help us in deciding what we are seeing in terms of future of the organization. Strategic intent also set the direction of the choices that we make as a management of a company. There is a very interesting case of Ben and Jerry, which is a US based ice cream maker. It was acquired by Unilever in year 2000. Now this is not the big news, because a lot of companies during their process may be acquired, may be sold out to the other players. The news for which Ben and Jerry was in there is that Ben and Jerry agreed to get sold to Unilever for a bid which is 4th lowest. So there were the companies who were offering even far more amount for Ben and Jerry, but Ben and Jerry decided to go with Unilever. So what was the reason why Ben and Jerry go for Unilever was the news and was more of the concern area. When we try to understand this decision of why not to pick up the company who was offering the highest, but referring to a company which is offering them the lowest one, the answer to this question lies in the statement given by Ben and Jerry, and they explained that they chose Unilever because Unilever not only agreed to give them the better price, but also agreed to go with these conditions. So Ben and Jerry basically was more concerned about the company who is acquiring Ben and Jerry, that the acquiring company must fulfill these conditions. Now what are these conditions? Other than the more than 300 million US dollar, Unilever also agreed to to these conditions. Condition number 1, Unilever will continue the donation of 7.5% of Ben & Jerry profit to a foundation. So, whatever be the profit of Ben & Jerry, every year Unilever will donate 7.5% out of that profit to that foundation, will continue to. Second condition was Unilever will not cut any job. This is very important, because in case of acquisitions, restructurings took place and a lot of people lost their job. So, Ben & Jerry was putting this condition, put that condition that Unilever will not cut any job. Unilever will not change the process of ice cream making, because this is the process that led to a particular kind of taste to the ice cream. If you change this process, that will give some bad or a kind of different taste to their consumers. So, they put this condition and Unilever agreed that Unilever will not change the process of ice cream making. Another very important condition which Ben & Jerry asked Unilever to follow was that Unilever will contribute $5 million to a fund which support minority owned businesses. And even more interestingly, the last condition, that Unilever will distribute $5 million to employees in next 6 months. So, what is this case about? This case is about the mission that Ben & Jerry followed, and moreover it is more about the commitment of this company Ben & Jerry towards that mission. Most of the company do have their mission, but at the time where they have to test themselves whether they are committed to that mission or not, Ben & Jerry here is a winner. These conditions, what these conditions reflect? These conditions reflect the mission, the very core purpose of being there into the business that Ben & Jerry drafted. These conditions reflect that Ben & Jerry taking care of the employees by preventing any job cut. They are also very much concerned about the product, and by protecting the process of making ice cream, they are also defending their customers. They are also into the social work, and so they put this condition of donating 7.5% of the profit every year to a particular foundation and spending $5 million to a particular fund that help or that support a minority owned business. So, these are the conditions that reflect the mission of Ben & Jerry. Had it been a case where somebody else is there, maybe there could be a dilemma whether to go with the company who is providing highest bid amount against Ben & Jerry business. But Ben & Jerry went with Unilever. One more condition that I have not mentioned here is they put the condition that Ben & Jerry will remain a wholly owned subsidiary of Unilever. Now, this is very important, because wholly owned subsidiary means only Unilever will be the parent company for Ben & Jerry. So, in a press note, people ask them, in a press conference, people ask Ben & Jerry why they chose Unilever for a lesser amount, and that is what they quoted is that when the company was started long back, lot of stakeholders joined the journey of this company and contributed positively to the success of this company, and gradually the company become a very successful company. So, in the process, stakeholders take care various things of Ben & Jerry. Now, at this point of time where Ben & Jerry is going to be sold out, what Ben & Jerry should focus more towards the amount they can have or towards what they can do for their stakeholders. So, in a single line statement, they mention that these conditions will prevent the interest of stakeholders, and the amount that was offered to us as the highest bidding was not able to meet out this condition, and that's what the mission is all about. Mission basically define the reason for being. What is your business? What do you do as a company, and whom do we serve? In this case, if I want to connect what we have learned regarding the mission, is that mission helps to decide the priorities. Number one, it helps to decide the priorities, and mission act as a guiding principle. Guiding principle. Ben & Jerry had a dilemma whether to go with the highest bid or with the reasonable amount, and the conditions. So, highest bid against reasonable amount and the condition, which one to pick? It is their mission that guided them to go with this one. Not only the mission, but their own commitment to this mission. Secondly, the priorities. Many a time when we grow up, lot of time we face various challenges, and we have to set our priorities, or we have to reshuffle our priorities. So, what to do first, what to do next, if we are very clear about mission, because mission is basically a statement of reason for being. So, what you are doing currently will also affect, will also represent your mission. So, what should be your priority right now at present time? That priority you can easily set out with the help of understanding of your mission. So, broadly, mission statement is basically the statement of enduring purpose. When we say enduring purpose, it means lasting purpose, long lasting. You will not change this purpose. For example, Ben & Jerry was into the ice cream making business, okay, but they were also taking care of various social things. They were contributing to a particular foundation. They were taking care of a firm, that of a foundation which was taking care of the minority led businesses. So, they were also into the social work, and it is therefore the mission statement differentiate an organization from the other organization of similar kind. So, it is not just the branding that will create the differentiation. The differentiation began with the moment a company stated its mission, because this mission will going to define their enduring statement of their purpose and how they are different from their nearby competitors. And it is therefore, mission can never be a generic statement. We cannot say, okay, this is the mission statement and we can use this mission statement for all these kind of companies which are coming under segment this one. This is not possible, because mission statements are very much specific. They actually define the long term identity of the company. Many a time when we define the mission statement, we refers to the company focus or the product focus mission statement. That is another part. What mission can also do for us? So, if we look at the organization basically are the diversified entity. People of different belief systems, value systems, background, culture, they work together. Not only the people from different ethnic background or the different culture, but the people with different mindset and goals. Individually, the people who are working in an organization, they are with their own personal goals, but they are working together in an organization. So, there are these two important challenges for any organization, be it is the smaller one or a company which is a conglomerate kind of structure. How to bring everyone unanimously under the shed of the organization which is by nature is highly diverse. Number two, second question which is very important is how to resolve divergent opinion regarding organization among its employee. So, try to see that if this is the structure of my organization and these small circles are nothing but the employees, and if I ask, okay, what is our organization, what it does, you will find that different people will give you different answers. Unification of their opinion towards their organization is very important for the unity and for the success of this company. The ex-CEO of Colgate, Ruben Mark, explained that mission statement can answer this. What he explained is that there is a need to create a broad purpose, a broad goal. That broad purpose to be expressed as the mission. So, this broad purpose for which company is existing has to be such that the individual goals will come into it. Whenever they see this purpose, he can identify, okay, there is something for me, it is taking care of it. If this fellow is looking at or reading this purpose or statement of mission, that can easily understand, okay, this mission of the company or the purpose of this company is lying with my goal. So, what he said is, what Ruben Mark said is that create a broad purpose, express it in terms of mission, and this will unify or unite people. And when people unite, they will perform better in terms of team. So, another definition point I would say that mission promote the sense of shared hope within the organization. It will somewhere reflect that individually I can achieve very small, but if I work in a group, I can achieve more. So, in this way, the mission statements are basically a kind of communication tool. Now, very interesting topic which we can discuss here is what should be taken care when we draft a mission statement. If somebody give me an exercise that, okay, we are so and so company, we are in the process of drafting our mission statement, how should we go about? If this is the exercise for you, what you should do? So, the literature on the mission statement suggested these 9 components. You can find these 9 components in almost every book on strategic management. These 9 components basically pose 9 questions, and to create a very very comprehensive mission statement, these 9 questions to be answered in that. These 9 questions basically categorized into 3. These 3 are about certain type of concern for survival, concern for public image, concern for employee. The first three are about what is the business of this company, who are the customers, how does company offer to customer, what is unique in them, what product and services you are offering, what is unique in them, and the market in terms of geographical boundaries where you are serving. In the next 3, they represent the psychological construct or psychological expression what company is supposed to. For example, self concept. During the mission statement, somewhere it has to be answered by one word, by one statement. Choice can be varied, but it should be addressed that what are the firm's strength and competitive advantage. Technology. What is the company's key technology? Now, somebody can ask, okay, if I am not a tech firm, how can I answer this question? So, let me tell you that this term technology is little disguised here. It is not that technology that we thought of. It is about the mechanism, how you will be working out what you supposed to do. It is about the mechanism, and we will discuss this when we cover up the business definition portion in this session only. So, what is the mechanism that company will adopt that has to be a part of this mission statement? Philosophy, the fundamental beliefs, the values and the philosophies. Again, as I mentioned, that it's the choices of words or the content can vary, but fundamental belief and values should be the part of mission statement. Now, one issue with this expression of what should be in the mission statement in terms of 9 component is a very long expression of mission statement, and every time not everybody is able to give answer to these 9 questions. So, for example, if there is a startup company that cannot fairly answer to all the questions. So, the requirement here is that if we are not able to use these 9 components in the mission statement, can we reduce these 9 to certain fundamentally important components that a mission statement should have? Ideally, these 9 components should be the part, but can we restate, can we reconfigure these 9 components into something which is less in terms of number, but covering the same kind of dimensions? So, there is a solution to this, and what we can do is this. Mission statement can be formulated by using these basic elements: the fundamental priority in terms of what is your customer, what is your product, how you will do it. So, 3 elements covered here. What is our business, the customer need, that is whether you are selling product or services, what is unique in them, that is there. And also we will cover here the 3 concern areas, and finally, the scope of business boundary in terms of geographic reach. So, more or less most of the component are covered under these 3 broad basic elements of a mission statement. Now, we will see how to analyze a mission statement. If you recall, if not recalling, I insist you to refer the previous session wherein we discussed the vision statement of Tesla company, and we analyze the vision statement, and in continuation of the same I am taking the mission statement of Tesla. I am not changing the company, so that we can actually create a connect between how the vision has a link with the mission. For just for the reference only, I just mentioned here that strategic intent, it basically include vision, mission, goals and objective in the hierarchy form. Now, this vision has got 3 elements: the core value, the core purpose and the visionary goal. This core purpose basically reflected here. So, vision connected to mission through core purpose. So, this is what something I want to communicate. Now, let us examine this mission statement. The mission statement of Tesla says to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. What is our business? Business is renewable energy, and fundamental priority is speed and shift from petrochem to sustainable or renewable energy, and the scope of business boundary is global. The company wants to serve globally, world's transition. So, we see that by and large their mission statement include all these three basic elements. So, you can conduct exercise wherein you can list down all the mission statement of the company in this way, and herein you can mention whether the statements, whether these the fundamental basic elements are there in their mission or not. Now, what is business definition? So, different business define their business differently. For example, a air conditioning company can define taking the reference of their product that we make air conditions. They can take the reference of market in a little philosophical manner. They can say we provide climate control at home. Similarly, an oil company can define their business, we sell petrol. The same oil company can define that we supply energy. So it's just merely the expression of your understanding about your definition of business. Derek Abel explained 3 dimensions that must be present in the business definition. One is your definition of business should include the consumer group, that who is being satisfied, individual or industrial, customer need, what is being satisfied, the utility or the function, that has to be very much clear or to be the part of your business definition. And finally, alternative technology. Again, this alternative technology is nothing but the mechanism. You can understand this in terms of business model. As a company, you would be following a particular business model, and that business model you must somewhere mention that how you are going to serve your consumers, and that mechanism is nothing but the alternative technology. Now, the last part of this session is about goals and objectives. As I said, every business has to have a goal. They create the goal when we on a journey towards future. So business goals describe what a company expect to achieve over a period of specific time, maybe in short term, maybe in long term, that we can categorize. Goals are deliberately planned results which guide reactions. So they are more generic, whereas the objectives define the enactment steps, implementation steps to reach that identified goal. So objectives are more specific. They provide some sort of outline regarding who, what, when, where, and how to reach those stated goals. So let me put this more with more clarity by using these examples. So if I set this goal, that my goal is to reduce the cost of production. So this is very generic, very generic. It has no particular deadlines, no specification. So this goal can have this objective, that conduct time and motion study on the monthly basis. So objective define how to achieve these goals. So basically objectives are the steps to achieve goals. Similarly, in second example, improve employee productivity, that can have the objective of develop and execute shift wise per employee production plan. It is more specific. We have expressed that okay, what we need to do is to develop and execute a shift wise per employee productivity or production plan, because if we do this, we will be able to improve the productivity of employees. We got to know which employee is contributing how much, and then we can analyze this data and can improve. So goals are more generic and objectives are more specific. So with this we came to the end of the session, and let me summarize here. What we have covered is the mission, what is the component, what are the components of mission, how to analyze mission, and then we moved to the business definition part, where we discussed 3 dimensions as suggested by Abel, and finally we discuss shortly with some examples what are goals and objectives. So thank you very much.